Well, today we got manhandled by a very good wrestling team. I don't think there's any way to spin it any other way than that. And I think the fortunate thing about the fortunate thing about wrestling a great team is you really get exposed and you really know what you got to go to work on. So up and down the lineup, I mean, they've got some super solid guys. I mean, I think if you look at the difference between that year, this year, you put a Kemmerer in there, that kind of quality of guys, and it makes a big difference. And so, I take my hat off to our guys in terms of fight. We have to keep getting better at wrestling, but I thought that our fight was pretty good in some places. We lost a match or two that could have went either way. One was an overtime, and one was a kind of a goofy call situation. But so on paper, it could have been a much closer score. But I think there were some competitive matches. I know if you measure where we were 2 years ago versus today, it's quite a different situation. But I'm glad it's November 23rd, and we've got a while to keep getting better. And so we just challenged the guys. I said, I'm not going to scream and yell at anybody. We just got beat by a better team today, but we're going to get together at noon tomorrow, and we got to keep building. And then we're going to get together a couple times on Tuesday, and we got to keep building. And then we're going to give them a couple days off to go see Grandma and Grandpa and eat turkey. Hopefully not too much, and then we'll get back together. And we've got a great opportunity to go to Las Vegas and wrestle in what is one of the probably the toughest regular season tournament right now in Division I wrestling. And so I've turned the page. I'm really looking forward to seeing how we regroup. It's easy to bring a team in and train a team after a big win. It's not as easy to bring a team in and train as after a loss, but you learn a lot about them. So I'm curious to see what they look like tomorrow, how rested they are, how much they weigh, how much they don't weigh, and but I think we've got a lot of character, and I think we got a lot of guys that wrestling's really important to right now, and those teams improve pretty fast.
You referenced it a little bit there, but what do you see in the match, especially that end sequence?
Well, we went from, I guess they got in a scramble there, and Jarrett thought that the referee gave a reversal, so in his, continuing to wrestle, he locked his hands, but the referee did not give a reversal, and so it became a locked hands before he whipped the guy to his back. I had two arguments. My first argument is that, if you take a guy from his whatever position to his back, shouldn't it be, shouldn't we get the back points? But in looking at it, they saw the locked hands first, and so action stops right there, and you start over when you get it all figured out. I do feel like we had a danger call at the end there, and that's why I threw the brick in, because I thought we had a danger call, and there was a 3 count, and that would have given us 2 takedown, and that would have won the match. So that's the story there.
How much did that result sort of not kill your team spirit that perhaps you wanted?
No, I don't think it was. I mean, I think Chase Straw went out and wrestled real tough at 65, and obviously it didn't bother David Carr much. I mean, I think Caleb Young's one of the best guys in the nation, and I was really impressed with him. And I knew watching him getting ready for this match, it's like David Carr's he's got a stud. Like, we got to be ready to go. I mean, that kid's good. He's gonna be right in there. Like he could go with anybody in the nation right there. I think he's one of the best guys out. So I don't think it affected us. I think up and down the line, there wasn't many places I could say we put our head down, and that's something we evaluate.
What kind of statement did David Carr make?
I think the most impressive thing about David was the presence at the end. Here he is, and he's let's face it, he's got a little different pressure on him because of everything he's done, and he was just hungry at the end to get that last takedown. And he locked that cradle up, and that's a dicey situation. You get the points, but if you all of us old wrestling experts, when you get in there and you start driving that thing too fast, it can go south really fast. It can go from, maybe I'm getting a pin to I'm getting reversed for 5. I've seen many guys get in that hold and it go the other way. So to have the presence to keep that thing under control and not force it and kind of baby it along was really good. But just the I'm going to go win this match mentality at the end because Young's a tough customer.
At 84, Colbray rode Nelson pretty tough. But then in tiebreakers, he let him up with a 30-second. What went into that decision?
That's probably, you got to put that one on the coach, because we talked in the nosebleed time out there, and I just kind of asked him what he wanted to do, and I sensed that his first reaction was to start on his feet. And You know, sometimes in practice, I see Sam just kind of hang on to ride in those situations, and so I had a little bit of deja vu in that I just didn't want him to hang on and get reversed at the end. I'd rather go out swinging, and so we decided to go out swinging, and we didn't connect. We didn't get the takedown, so that's probably a little bit on me, but I really felt like he could get the takedown there at the end, but hats off to them for that.
At 41, how gritty of a win was that for Ian Turner to get that takedown in sudden victory?
Really gritty because, you know, a lot of times, you know, we don't tell everything that's going on, but he's been banged up a little bit and hasn't been able to train nearly at the capacity he can train at, and that's a high capacity. And so for him to figure out how to win there and to do what he did, you know, he's getting better, but we've had an injury that we've had to sit on and do nothing. And so when you don't get those reps and that mat time in for, you know, a couple weeks, you know, he was kind of questionable even this week. So he was kind of a game time decision. So we knew that, you know, we knew he was going to have to do it the Ian Parker way, just suck it up and be tough.
How electric was the atmosphere? Top 10 attendance for any match here in Hilton and most since 1999.
Great, yeah, I think it was great. You know, thank you Cyclone Nation for coming out. I think we did this 2 years ago, and there was a lot more black and gold, and there was cardinal and gold, and we won that war today. And so, you know, we're making progress. This thing's going in the right direction. We just got beat by a really damn good team today. And do we think that could change if we wrestled in January, February? Yeah, because I think these guys can improve, and I think we got some guys that are really ready to continue working towards that. So.
Earlier in the week, you talked about the importance of getting those bonus points victories. What was the move kind of like after the duel started off with a tech ball for Lee and made your decision for the Sun?
You know, the thing about Spencer Lee is, you know, when he shows up and it's a big pressure situation, he figures how to deliver, and he did today again, obviously. And you know, DeSanto's got a great pace, and they got up and down that lineup. Like I said, if you're a Hawkeye fan and you've been watching lineups for a long time, you're gonna have a hard time finding a better one than that, because they got some firepower. DeSanto wrestles at a high pace, and if you're gonna want to beat DeSanto, you're gonna have to slug it out for 7 minutes.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks for coming out.